Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 delicious dinner ideas that take 20 minutes or less to make. They are all vegan, of course, and they are going to be high carb, low fat dishes. I'm going to be showing you one that has some pasta in it. You can feel free to sub. I'm going to show you one that has some pasta in it. You can feel free to sub gluten-free pasta or, say like chickpea pasta. Whatever you want to do is going to be totally fine. So I hope you guys enjoy these, and let's go ahead and get into the video. So today we're going to be making, for this 20-minute dinner, it's going to be a miso soup. So this is going to take, it can take less than 20 minutes, but here are some of the things that I'm going to be using. Now, you can get creative with this. You can put like udon noodles in this, make it a noodle soup, do whatever. But I'm going to show you the basics for what we're making. So the first thing I'm going to do is, these are some dried shiitake mushrooms. And I just kept the package to show you how they come. Then I've got some green onions. Now, if you don't have any chopped already, you'll just want to include a bit of thyme for that. I had these in the freezer. You're gonna need some tofu. I went ahead, I haven't cut it or pressed it. I just opened it because opening tofu it's a disaster if you're gonna do it on camera. So you need some tofu, some nori, miso paste. So fermented soybean paste is what miso paste is. So you can get this for a few dollars. I think a lot of stores now carry them, just not just Asian markets. This is optional. This is called kombu. This is what's going to make what is called the dashi, or the base for the miso soup. Typically, bonito flakes are also used in that, but that's shrimp. So we're not going to be using that, obviously, for this vegan dish. This is the piece I'm using. It's going to be very small. You're also going to need a little over 2 cups of water per person. I say a little over because some of it's going to evaporate, and you want to make sure you have 2 cups. The only thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put some warm water, and I just let this come to warm water in my tap, over the mushrooms, and we're going to let these hydrate a little bit before we even cook them. We're going to drain off this liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and take you over to the stove and show you how this comes together. All right, so we're just going to place our piece of kombu in the water. I have poured all of the water in, so that's just over 4 cups in there. The reason I say just over is we're going to take about a half cup out in a little bit and add the miso to it. You want this to simmer, but you don't want it to boil, and you're just going to let it simmer for 5 minutes. So while the kombu is coming to a simmer, I am just pressing some tofu. By pressing it, I just mean I'm taking my big thing of miso paste and setting it on top of tofu between paper towels. All right, so it's been about 3 minutes, and I have rinsed and drained the shiitake mushrooms, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and put these in as well. I think that the longer they can cook in this, the more flavor you get. So total of 5 minutes for that kombu. All right, so after 5 minutes, I'm just gonna fish out the piece of kombu, and you'll just toss this. And then also what we're gonna do is you're gonna take about a half a cup of the water. Don't want a mushroom in there, just the water. And you're going to pour it over your miso paste. So in here, I've got 1.5 tablespoons of miso paste per person. So again, I'm doing 2 people. So I'm gonna use about 2 ladlefuls, so a half a cup. And then I'm just going to slowly stir this together. And it gets this really nice dark color. Now I've got a couple of clumps in it. That is totally fine. They are going to dissolve in here. Now again, we're not bringing any of this to a boil. We're bringing it to a low simmer. All right, so I'm gonna let this heat up a little bit more, and then I'm gonna show you what the tofu looks like. All right, so this is about half of the tofu block. I've just cut it into some small cubes. I cut it in half down the middle. You can do whatever size cubes you like, but I like them kind of smallish. Again, this is for 2 people, so I'm using half a block of tofu. You can use the whole block, depending upon how many people you've got. And you just really need to warm the tofu. And then we're also gonna add in some nori. Now, I've just cut this nori into some little chunks, or just torn it. This is 1 sheet. Again, I'll say it again, 2 people. You put as much or as little as you want. You don't even have to put any if you don't want to. It's traditionally got nori in it. The mushrooms are kind of my own addition. Sometimes you'll find it with and sometimes won't, but I really like the flavor that it brings. So I put mushrooms in mine. And then the last thing we need to add is gonna be those green onions. All right, so really this takes less than 20 minutes. This will take about 10 minutes typically to come together. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a bowl of it and I will show you guys. So traditionally, this is what miso soup would be served in. You see how small this bowl is? Nah, that ain't gonna work for us. All right, so this is the finished product. Look at that, it is gorgeous. So I'm gonna serve mine with a side of fresh steamed jasmine rice. I'm also probably gonna have some cucumber salad with it if you're trying to do maximum weight loss. But this is just a good meal by itself. This is good, I think any time of year I could eat this every day. So hope you guys enjoy this one. All right, so the next 20-minute dinner that we're gonna be making is a pasta salad. Now, pasta salad is one of those things you can literally throw pretty much anything in it and it'll taste pretty good. So I'm using what I have. So the first thing you wanna do is boil your noodles. That's the only cooking we're doing. It's gonna take the longest. So these are just 2 cups of elbow macaroni noodles. These are organic. I'm gonna get those boiling. And then while this is boiling, we're gonna make our sauce and cut up our vegetables. So you're just gonna cook the noodles as the package directs you to. So that should take, like I said, about 10 to 12 minutes. So the other things I'm gonna be using for this are gonna be aroma tomato. I only have one. If I had more, I'd probably use more. So you're just gonna chop the tomato. I've also got a 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. These are not in oil. You can chop these finer if you want, but I kinda like this consistency, so I'm gonna just leave it. I've got some little Kirby cucumbers. You can 1/4 these, half these, do whole slices. I'm gonna half it and then slice, do like little crescents. And I've also got 1/2 cup of green peas and 1/2 cup of corn. These were frozen. I just popped them in my microwave to thaw them. I went ahead and did it so you didn't have to hear my microwave, but it happens in the 20 minutes. And then I've also got one 15.5 ounce can of chickpeas that have been drained. I've also got some very little carrots, and I'm actually, instead of chopping these, I've got this tool here. This is usually better on bigger carrots, but I'm gonna try it on this one, and it kind of shreds them. It makes it perfect for sushi and things like that. So I'm just gonna do some shredded carrots. You could do matchstick carrots, carrot chips, chunks, no carrot, you do you. So I've got all my carrots, and then you would normally probably want to use a red onion for this. I don't have any red onion, so I'm going to use a shallot, which is milder in flavor than a regular onion as well. So I just got a little baby shallot, and I'm going to cut this really small. Once this pasta salad sits, if you want to leave it overnight, it's really good the next day. I like pasta salad to kind of marinate a bit, but once it sits, this will kind of get a little bit more mild in flavor as well. So that's all the chopping we're gonna do. So let me go ahead and get the blender out and I'll show you what we're gonna do for the sauce. So what we're gonna do is go in with a 1/4 cup of raw cashews. You're going to add in the juice of 1 lemon. You can also, if you don't want to use cashews and you want to keep this oil free, you could use white beans as well. Next, we're gonna add in about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. A little more. Gonna add in a teaspoon of garlic salt. Or garlic powder. I just always eyeball this stuff, man. Last thing we're gonna add is some fire roasted red bell peppers. Now you can roast these yourself, but girl, ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm gonna use this jarred one. This is 1 pepper. I'm just gonna pour it in. And then I'm gonna take a 1/4 cup of this brine. This has no oil in it, okay? This is just water, basic brown sugar, salt, citric acid, sodium chloride, which is also, calcium chloride. So oil-free, you're gonna put some of that brine in there. You can also use vinegar if you don't have lemon juice. We're just gonna blend this bad boy on up. That smells so freaking good. I'm gonna do a little taste test. Yeah, that's real good. It's nice and tangy. If it's too tangy for you, you only have to use, I would start with a 1/2 lemon juice, but I like a lot of tang. And I'm just gonna finish it with a little bit of salt. So my pasta's almost done. It's only been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and put all of my other ingredients in a large bowl. And again, I'm not using a lot of pasta for this much vegetables because I want it to be mostly veg. But if you don't, you can cook it way more pasta. It's up to you. All right, and then we're gonna go in. I'm gonna use a whole can of chickpeas. All right, so I'm gonna grab the pasta, drain it, and come back to you. Now you can let this cool before you put the dressing on if you want to, but I'm not that patient. So. The one thing I am gonna do before I put the dressing is I'm gonna add a little bit of salt here. And we're gonna mix that in. You can not add salt if you don't want to, but pasta without salt to me just isn't right. All right, last thing is gonna be to pour this sauce on. Now what I do is I pour about 3/4 of the sauce, mix it, and then if you want more, add more. Just gonna base it on your sauce preferences. Delicious. Hope you guys give this one a try. If you do, tag me on Instagram. All right, y'all, so we're gonna be making black bean taquitos. Now you can add whatever flavorings or seasonings you want to this. This will take less than 20 minutes, just depends on how many you're making. So I'm just gonna show you a small batch really quickly. So this is 1 can of black beans that I've rinsed and drained. Now you can use homemade black beans, you can use refried beans, you can use whatever. I'm gonna add in some salsa. So this is just regular salsa from a container. I just don't want to put out the whole container. And then I'm gonna add some Hatch Valley salsa from Trader Joe's because I like the green chilies in this. You can also just add some green chilies or some jalapeno if you want it. We're gonna add garlic powder, just a little bit, about a half teaspoon of that. I'm gonna add some cumin and chili powder. And this is all going into my blender or my food processor. You can use either one, it's fine. And you can add salt to this if you like to. The salsa is salty enough in my opinion. So I'm just gonna whiz this together real quick. All right, now once this is the consistency that you want, you can leave it slightly chunky, you can make it totally smooth. It is up to you. You're going to get some corn tortillas and you're gonna wanna warm them. You can warm them in the oven or in the microwave. I just warm them with a damp paper towel. In the microwave makes them more pliable and easily folded. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a corn tortilla, and you're gonna take a tablespoon or so, maybe 2, of your mixture. You're just gonna put it in the middle like that. I kind of bring mine towards me, and then you're just gonna roll it up. Now for cooking these, you've got a couple of options as well. You can put them in the air fryer. You can bake them at 425 in the oven, or you can put them in a skillet, which is what I'm gonna be doing today. I'm just gonna cook them in on the stovetop in a non-stick pan. Don't wanna add any oil or anything. You can also use like a griddle or something like that. So you'll just wanna make as many of these, you know, as you have mixture for pretty much. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make these and then I'll show you how we cook them up. All right guys, so all I did was put them seam side down into a dry, hot non-stick skillet. And I just cooked them for a couple of minutes on each side. And I kind of rotated them on the sides too. These are super crispy and super hot in the middle. So I'm gonna try to break one without hurting myself. No, it's not gonna happen. And then I'm gonna serve them with a side of salsa. You can use any salsa you like. And yeah, that's it. These took me less than 10 minutes to make this whole batch. This would be enough, I would say, for 2 people. You would also wanna have a veggie on the side with this, but like, look at that bad boy. I hope you guys give these a try. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, right down below. Also turn on this bell notification so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. So go ahead and leave me a comment which one is your favorite, and also if you make any of these, don't forget to tag me on Instagram at Gish Gets Fit. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.